Thanks so much for joining us tonight at 6. Getting your hands on some fresh milk, cheese, and other dairy products could become more challenging over the next few years. Victoria Bailey hit the farm today to take a look at the crisis local dairy farmers are facing today. She joins us live in the studio with more. Hey, Victoria.
Hey, Scott. With the demand for local dairy farms on the decline, dairy farmers have to make a decision. Stick it out in an unsteady market or let go of several generations of hard work and family history.
Once I was old enough to start reaching a cow in the barn, I was in the barn helping milk, keeping cows run out of the barn.
Will Gilmer is the third generation to take the reins of his family's dairy farm in Alabama.
After I finished college, I decided this is what I wanted to do for a living.
Gilmer Dairy Farm not only produces milk, but also raises dairy cattle and the food the cows eat. But Gilmer says the last 18 years has been quite the experience.
Dairy farming, particularly in the Southeast, has been in a long-term decline. Over the last, say, 15 years, the state of Alabama has gone from about 130 dairies down to roughly 40. For those of us that have remained, I mean, we've seen ups and downs, and we're currently in the third or fourth down cycle we've had in the last 10 years. So each progressive cycle, our margins shrink even more and more, and so it's difficult to stay in because, like any business, you have to reinvest in your infrastructure and your capital. We have to replace equipment, facilities, and as the profitability in dairy farming gets less and less, having the money left over to make those investments to continue going becomes more difficult.
Dr. Amanda Stone is a dairy specialist with the MSU Extension Service. She says milk may be cheaper in the stores, but it's costing farmers like Gilmer everything.
I think the last number I read maybe a week ago was we are 40 billion pounds milk deficit, which means our producers produce less milk than what our people actually are consuming, which is a good thing. That means people are drinking milk, but a bad thing in that we aren't supporting ourselves.
Now, dairy farmers are actively getting out of the business, but Stone says that presents a whole other issue for those remaining.
Maybe even the scariest issue is that for every producer that decides to get out of the market, they're affecting other producers, right? Because the milk trucks can only travel so far for it to still be profitable for the companies that are picking up the milk and marketing the milk. So there's only a few scattered, and so if one goes out, they're affecting their neighbor's decision to stay in.
Recently, beef is it tends to be the direction that most farms go into, and that's the direction that our farm's looking at as well, is if we do transition over beef and hay production appears to be our best option.
Now, the USDA shows the largest crop grown in Alabama is peanuts and sweet potatoes in Mississippi. Scott?